Hi, I'm Belinda with Belinda's Baubles, and welcome to the last day of the North Texas Yarn Crawl. Today I have my husband Sam joining me.
I'm not Belinda.
Aren't you
That's all I got.
Aren't you so excited to be going on this yarn crawl today?
Oh yes, I wish I could do this every day.
You can tell he's excited, can't you? He even brought his golf clubs along with him. All right. We've got the northern route today. We're going to be going by Cynthias Corner, Quixotic Fibers, and the farthest one from me, which is Cotton Mill Yarn, ending up in Bonham, Texas. So let's get crawling. All right, let's get started. Up here on your left is Buckys. If you've never heard of a Buckys, look it up on Wikipedia. It's actually there. It is a destination. And we have just a little bit further up the road, the Texas Motor Speedway, where NASCAR races happen. I'm giving you just a few little quick stops here. This is actually an hour's drive up to Cynthias Corner in Gainesville. Over on your right is North Texas University. Go Mean Green. And as we quickly head in, here's Cynthias Corner, home of the Yarn Wranglers. Cynthia is always such a delight for me to see. I need to be up here more often. We just sit and talk and have a great visit every time I come in. Her shop is a little different than most because she is the craft supplier for her area. There she is. She has all sorts of pattern books. You can find things from different time periods. And here's all of her cottons. I believe there are some bamboos in there too. And this is MIB, or MIB Fibers. Miranda's Fibers is a friend of hers. She's retired at the moment. This is her way of de-stressing as a college professor. And I believe she may be working on a doctorate at the moment, is the reason she is not doing anything. Okay, so Dominique is the name of the dyer, and it is exclusive in the Texas area to Cynthias Corner. Okay, this always gets me in trouble. I always find something here. As you notice that rainbow yarn down there, I have a top made out of that Cynthia told me about, that Cotton Supreme Waves. There's a free pattern, Fresh Berries is the t-shirt, and that is self-striping for clothing. So I was able to make a t-shirt with only 3 skeins. I love it to death. And of course I may have found some yarn for a couple of more shirts while I was there. Don't worry, I made sure someone else also took some home with them. As I said, she's a one-stop shop, so she talks to all of her customers, and they were needing some quality fabrics for quilting in the area, so she brought that in. She's also brought in a lot of other supplies, but she has so many different things in this one shop. Here's all the bamboo pop. Can you tell that that is a favorite? With the heat here in Texas, a lot of times we're going over into cotton and bamboo quite a bit with our knitting. On over to her baby items. She has all different price ranges. And I just loved this piece of artwork here from a magazine. From getting cotton for washcloths to trying out different things like the Karen wheel. The back of the shop there is all going to be her bulky yarns. And then she has, look at all that. All those bulky yarns there. And then she has her sock yarns, including patent Croy socks. It's a great sock yarn if you're just wanting a workhorse yarn that you're going to be able to throw in the washer and dryer, even with hand knit socks, especially if you're making them for the men in your life. Then you have all the thread area, but look at these local artists is what she had in her shop. I'll leave the information from her art show for Joe Connor and the leather jewelry for Christy Cheaney. She really does support all those around her. Sam was keeping me company. Got a few seconds of him there, and then we're on to Quixotic. This is in Whitesboro, a 20-minute drive down the road. And that was a picture of what the front of the store looks like. We are coming in or sneaking in the back due to construction in the front of the store. Unfortunately, it wasn't over until after the yarn crawl. So we got to start at the sale area. Going straight in, all of the pattern books. Look at this great selection. And Quixotic has their own line of hand-dyed yarn. It is super soft. I can't remember right off the bat where they get the yarn from, but they dye it here in-house. And they had a great deal going on as far as any of the Quixotic fibers. If they're already caked up, they were only $12, and that is for hand knit. They are also one of the largest, I believe, providers of dream and color yarn in the Texas area, definitely in the DFW area. And I always love being able to get one of these yarns and go into the light box and just see how it pops out. Dream and Color is a super saturated natural fiber yarn out of Tucson, Arizona. And the colors are just jewel bright. My understanding is the owners and dyers, they want stuff that they want to work with, and they love color. Quixotic also has this bar area for you to come try out the needles. This is how I ended up with a pair of cubits last year, is by trying them out here. So you can knit or crochet with the hooks, try them before you buy them. And they have a large selection of crochet hooks and knitting needles. Look at all of that. It keeps going. Then you have this long corridor as you're walking into the shop. Here's, I believe that was, no, it wasn't Malabrigo. I can't remember what that one was. Sorry. This is more dream and color. This is what I'm saying. DK, fingering weight, dream and color is everywhere inside this shop. With this long, narrow hallway, 2 rooms, you wouldn't think that they could get as much yarn and other fiber as they do in here, but they really get a great selection. The silk and merino blend, oh, that felt so good. Some more of the Quixotic fibers here, and all the samples there are knit up in the Quixotic fiber yarns. I loved this little hidden pocket here. That was just so much fun. I just don't want to know what the little one would end up with in that pocket. Probably some Cheerios. And then on to, look at all those samples. You can tell I just looked at everything, can't you? Okay, this is new. This is a German company, Rohrspatz and Wulsmeer. I know I'm killing it, but it is just a really cool yarn that I had not seen anywhere else. Of course, I found Hoochie Mama there. I love the bright colors. This is a little bit more expensive of the yarns. But the owners, Curtis and Carla, they do believe that you should knit and crochet with the highest quality yarn that you can afford, best possible selections, and all price ranges. And here we have Irish in the tall grass. Sorry, should have been paying closer attention there. Life in the tall grass. I think we're heading into the Malabrigo wall. They have a nice comfy area up here. Unfortunately, none of the yarn babies were there. They usually are sitting and playing on the couch whenever I've walked in the past. If you just need a quick gift and you can't knit it up right then, there's some socks. And then I fell in love with this Knitter's Pride Joy of Knitting gift bag that has been brought out just for Mother's Day. This was the last one they had in the shop. They'd sold all the others. Of course, I had to go online and even look, and it was $134.99. But oh, so worth it. Someday, I love all those bright colors. Can you tell I'm a 70s kid? Okay, back over to Malabrigo, and then we're going to be heading into the next room. I also enjoyed getting to visit with Emily, who's the manager there, and the mother of the yarn babies. This gives you a little bit of a chance to look out the front door. This is where you usually come in with the mascot here. And then you have the fun gnome wall. Of course, I had to have a little fun there myself. It was a great picture spot. And you can find on their website a place to be able to get Imagine Landscapes gnome patterns. Isn't this so much fun? And they've got all the gnomes hidden all through those shawls. Over here, I believe was this Jameson? Yeah, Jameson and Smith. All different colors. Carla really does like to research her yarns and make sure that you're getting the best you can for the price that you're able to afford. She's got everything from acrylics on to others, depending on what you're able to use. And this was what I was really excited to get to. The West Yorkshire Spinners. They have such a great collection, and I knew it was going to be here. I was planning on coming and buying a pheasant, which I did end up getting, but I also found one last gingerbread. There's the pheasant that I ended up, I think that was the one I got. Yeah, there's pheasant. Okay. But I did find one last Christmas gingerbread skein, which I had been jealous of seeing other friends knitting with, and I can't wait to make my Christmas socks this year with it. And of course the buttons caught my eye. Look at these tubes of buttons. Well, that's about it for Quixotic yarn. And on we go. All right, this was another hour drive. 3.5 hours total drive time round trip today. Give you some wildflowers there. It's a beautiful spring right now. And this is now Bonham, their courthouse. They just finished it up in the last year. And now we are going into the Mercantile West, which is an artisan vendor boutique that our last stop on the yarn crawl has moved into. The Cotton Mill Yarns used to have a tea room on the other side of the square, and she's now moved in here, and she's made herself this lovely space in the back. But of course, you have to look through everything along the way. It's a rule, right? And she had several different special guests, basically. The LeRoo Cotton, which is part of LeRoo Crochet. She is a vegan-friendly yarn. It's all organic cotton, bamboo, and linen. And boy, was that soft. This was one of the trunk shows. I believe she's out of Michigan. It'll show us here in a moment. I forgot to write it down. Yes, Grand Rapids, Michigan. And her colors were beautiful. She got such vibrant, even in the cottons. If you ever get a chance to look her up, you really should. She sells online. Laura had her grandkids with her, so I'm moving around as you see me going up and down a little bit. I tried to keep them out, but the boys were comfortably settled in. I didn't want to disturb them, and so you may see some shoes and things along the way. That's what's going on. And here she has her booth, and you would never expect a yarn shop in an artisan area to have this many items. Chick Ashby was a dyer and one of my favorite stops that used to be on the yarn crawl down in Waxahachie. She has stopped dyeing, and all of what she has left is here at the cotton mill. She's got a great selection of Queensland yarns. There's just a little bit of everything. Here's the Mirasol yarns. All sorts of different little items, whatever you might need. And I guess for a small town, you would need a little, pretty much everything. I'm sorry if you were needing that heritage gray, it came home with me. It's going to be a pair of socks now. I'll tell you about that in the next episode. Even coffee cups, and she also had the big blue Moma baskets. That's what you saw a moment ago. They're from Canada, inspired by the beauty of Ghana's handcrafts, and they've partnered directly with the artisans to make sure the artisans are paid a fair market value. Here's a MIB Elements jewelry. I have one of her shawl pins. She is a knitter that designs these, and they are all handcrafted. Then heading over, there's just stuff to see everywhere. You can't help but look around. She also had a show with the Riverpeace Pottery, which were hand-turned yarn bowls. This was the last one. Apparently they had been brought up from, I believe, the South Texas area, and this was the last one that hadn't sold yet during the yarn crawl. And then heading over this direction, she has Corinne Lapierre, a wool mix felt craft kit out of Yorkshire, England, and I loved the coup. I have never done any felting. That might have to be on my list for next year.
Hi, this is Belinda with Belinda's Baubles, and thanking you again for coming with me on this wonderful trip along the DFW area for the North Texas Yarn Crawl. Right now I am in Bonham, Texas. This is Fort English, and that's an amazing area. Someday I'm actually going to come here when it's open, but I just wanted this to kind of be my last stop for the North Texas Yarn Crawl. I hope you'll join me again next year and come over and just visit with my channel. I'm going to have a wrap up in about a week, and I'll be doing my drawing. Make sure you go over to the episode 1 for Belinda's Baubles and enter for the drawing for the North Texas Yarn Crawl bag with some extra goodies in it. Thanks again. I so enjoyed having you come along with me, and make sure you like and subscribe so you'll know next time whenever I'm out and about, or for my regular episodes that'll be coming once a month. See you soon, and keep crawling.